It's that time again, One Life, and thank you for joining in for this morning's weekly conference call. What a great academy and leadership summit that we had last week. I was tired yet fulfilled, and I'm sure most of our agents and managers felt the same way after leaving Meridian for their journey home on Wednesday. From time to time, I like to have the opportunity to do our devotion for this morning's conference call as well. And I signed up for it last week, and I had no particular topic in mind. Just thought over the course of the weekend that I'd find something that the Lord would lead me in the direction that He would, and He absolutely did. So since the beginning of December, I've heard the buzzwords of team and teamwork mentioned often throughout our company. Benji Crooms gave a great speech to the academy in December, challenging our new agents to get on the team. Brandon Lewis ended his session last week with a team huddle. Many of our agents aspire to build a team of great agents and managers. And today's devotion will not contain any scripture reference, just a look at team building and teamwork situations, and actually one of the ultimate teams ever built. Over the past few days, I've witnessed and participated in some various teams. Last Friday, a team of One Life employees helped at Ken Parker Jr.'s home, one of our managers, and his neighbor's home after a tornado passed through the town of Collinsville, doing much damage. Matter of fact, the Baptist Association just showed up at Ken Jr.'s and went to work as well. Even beyond that, the entire community and surrounding communities have come together to help as they show the caring Good Samaritan type trait. I coach a U10 boys soccer team. This past Saturday, we played a double header with 20 minutes in between games. During the second game, I witnessed teammates encouraging each other to find that next gear and to help their team. Unfortunately, my team fell short and suffered defeat, but that's beside the point. There was positive team encouragement from an exhausted group of young boys. One kid even told his teammates at halftime that we win as a team or lose as a team. Needless to say, I was a proud coach. Lastly, our church youth just completed a D Now weekend. This stands for Discipleship Now. 20 of our youth worked on a Habitat for Humanity property. Not only did they complete the work on that property, but they crossed the street to help two random teenagers rake the yard that their mother had put them in charge of raking for the day. That was going above and beyond the call of duty. Now, not all teams come together out of an act of kindness, because of a draft that chooses teams, or because you signed up to take part in a weekend ministry program. Think about this. How did Jesus build His team? He broke all the rules of team building. The disciples were challenged from the get-go. I recently read an article that pinpointed 6 facts about the way that Jesus built His team of disciples and challenges that they knew were ahead. Here are those 6 facts, and maybe we should use these facts to build our team, whatever team that might be. 1, select unknowns for your team with questionable abilities, differing belief systems, little to no education, and widely varying backgrounds. The disciples, they were a bunch of young, inexperienced, uneducated dudes who were from very different walks of life. Yet these guys were in Jesus' inner circle. 2, live with them. Not only teach, but model. Christ slept, ate, and traveled with His team. He was a teacher, but they got to watch Him in every situation He faced. At parties, alone, frustrated, worshiping, angry, teaching, in huge groups, or with children on His lap. There was no off time for Jesus. He taught by both words and actions. 3, tell stories. Speak in riddles that confuse your followers, but they will understand 2 to 5 years from now. That's right. Most of the time, the disciples had no idea what Jesus was talking about. Maybe we should be just as cryptic with our followers. Give them an impossible task. Make it global and filled with danger and unknown frontiers. Go to the ends of the earth. Oh, really? Sure, sign me up. Or at least that's what the cynical side of me thinks, how the disciples might have responded. But here's the thing. They accepted the task. They went to the extremes of the known world, India, Europe, and Ethiopia. and they brought the gospel to thousands. Number 5, understand going in that there will be varying levels of success, failure, and some may even betray you. Don't be shocked. It happens, and that's okay. Number 6, change the world. Sounds easy, right? Well, I know I would have had a problem making a team under these guidelines, but Jesus made it work. What can we learn from the way that Jesus assembled his team? He showed zero stereotyping, no discrimination, yet challenged those who wanted to serve with almost impossible tasks, and they accepted in the long run. Who wouldn't want those kind of individuals on their team? When building your team, lead from the front. Don't be scared to roll up your sleeves and get dirty. And never ask someone to do anything that you're not willing to do yourself. Pray with me if you would. Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for the opportunity that we have to work hard and lead others. Your Son Jesus was the ultimate leader who laid down his life for a purpose. We hope that our purpose pleases you in everything that we do. And let our actions show others that your light shines bright in us. Amen. Thank you for that opportunity. And I want to roll right into our production report for the week of 125 through 129. One Life as an Agency surpassed the 800,000 mark, submitting $802,073.76 of submitted annual premium. Fantastic job. We are well on the rise and looking forward to a very successful 2016. Our Agent of the Week, Mr. Chris Cole, with $9,748.08. And number 2, Josh Sivak, $8,877. Number 3, Lenore Cortez with $8,620.92. Number 4, Susan Amberg, Richard Cooper, Paul Hunter, Richard Cooper with $7,704.60. Paul Hunter, $7,612.56. Number 7, Scott Shaddy, $741.08. Number 8, Gregory McIntyre, $7,355.64. Number 9, Javier Rodriguez, $7,343. And rounding out the top 10, Melandy Charles with $6,969.48. Sorry for the confusion. Had a little rampage go through my office there. Some guys were looking for something. So that was our top 10 producers for the week. Now I want to hit our top 5 sales teams for the week off our team report. Number 1, Innovative Insurance Brokers with $131,316 of submitted annual premium. Number 2, Life Management, $129,845. Number 3, David Bowles, $65,252. Number 4, The Health Group, $61,755. And number 5, Lead Masters Insurance with $50,794 of submitted annual premium. So fantastic job to all of our top producers and our top teams, and there again we're ecstatic about the direction we're headed in 2016. Last week's Academy and Leadership Workshop was amazing. The videos from this event will be available soon on our YouTube channel, so we'll be broadcasting that by email to let you know when they are available. If you missed the event for whatever reason, the next one's going to be held on May the 2nd to the 4th. Put that on your calendar. You want to make this event, whether you're a new agent and you're wanting to get plugged in and connected and you start your sales and product training, that is a great way to do it through the New Agent Academy. If you're a manager or a leader in an organization, you don't want to miss out on our leadership workshop. It's a half-day event. We do a dinner at Ken Parker's house the night before, but it is a fantastic workshop of great information to take away with you. Plug into our social media outlooks, our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn accounts. We'd love to have you all be part of the family by keeping up with what's going on around the One Life family on our social media. We're very excited to have Mr. Eric Sipes join us today to be our featured speaker on the call. Eric is 28 years old, and he serves One Life as an agency director. Eric, he has been in the business for 10 years. And he said that he's a final expense agent through and through, and helping people is his passion. However, his focus has changed to helping agents be successful in the business by teaching them everything he has learned. Eric said that you can tell he's a salesman once you meet his stunningly beautiful wife of over 9 years, and they have 2 children, Noah and Braylee as well. Eric is on fire for many things. First and foremost is his Lord and Savior. Next is his family. and he's well on his way to building a great team of agents after having 5 in Meridian last week for the Academy. Eric just gets it, and we're glad to have him on this morning's conference call. So I'm going to go ahead and unmute Eric's line now. Eric, are you with us for the call this morning?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I appreciate the introduction. You make me sound too good to be true, but I'm just a normal guy there, buddy.
Well, I appreciate you, Eric, and appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. So I'm going to turn the call over to you.
Thank you, David. Today I want to talk about getting in the door. When I come down to these meetings, there's a lot of people that, call and make appointments. And they ask me, how do you do this, Eric? And I say, well, I optimize my leads in a route planner, and I go and I knock on the door. And they ask me why I don't make appointments, and it's pretty simple. My answer is this. A lot of work schedules look like this. They spend 2 days on the phone, 3 days out in the field working, 5 working days total. Okay? I spend 2 days working in the field without making appointments. Like you said, my family's pretty important to me, and I try to spend as much time with my family as possible, and also building a team. My days in the field are pretty limited, so I had to figure out a way how to make this job work in its least amount of days as possible. So, I can do this by door knocking and not calling these people. So I want to talk to you guys this morning about getting in the door. And David, this is something that I emailed you back in maybe November that I'm going to be reading off of. You're more than welcome to send it out to anyone that wants it. This is my knowledge is their knowledge. So I titled this Getting in the Door. This is the most important part about this job. Odds are, if you can't get in the door, you're not going to make a buyer out of this person. The more doors you knock every day, the easier it'll get for you. I have 7, key components about getting in the door. Number 1, knock on the door and step back away from it. If a customer can reach you when they open the door, you're too close. Customers are more prone to talking with you if they don't feel threatened, so give them their space. Basically an arm length is what I try to use, David. I knock on the door, I step back. I don't want to be in their bubble, because if you're in a customer's bubble when they open the door, you're a threat to them. So step back, give them their space. Number 2, smile. A big smile warms hearts. Smiles are also contagious. This will help you get into the door. It's hard to smile at someone without them smiling back. Doesn't matter how bad of a day they're having. Number 3, show them the card they sent in front and back. Try to get them to take the card with the hand they're holding the door with. If they do try to take a step towards them, see if they step back. So if you step forward and they step back, keep going forward. You're already getting in the door. Most of the time they'll back up if you're moving forward. However, if they're not ready to let you in, they're going to step forward. You need to warm them up some more. Number 4, learn to read body language. It'll tell you how to handle each customer. Not every person is going to respond the same way. Be adaptive. Feed off of what they're showing and their signals. If they're stepping forward, like I said, that means you're not coming in their house. Try to break the ice. Say, if you don't want me coming in, we can talk about this on the front porch. I've sold many applications on the front porch. That's what I mean about be adaptive. Number 5, do things like wiping your feet as a sign that you're coming in the house. People feed off your energy. If you're smiling, it's contagious. You're wiping your feet. You hand them the card with one hand and you pull on the door with the other, and you're taking a step forward. People realize that leaders, and a lot of people are followers. So if you're leading the situation, they're going to follow your example. Not every time, but for the most part. Number 6, be confident with yourself and your words. Don't mistake confidence with cockiness. What this means, do not say things with a question mark behind them. For example, you had sent this card into our office a few weeks ago, I think, question mark. Is this a good time to talk, question mark. These are great ways to be told no, so don't do it. You got to say things with assertiveness. The office sent me out to visit with you. You don't say, do you have a couple minutes? You say, this will only take a couple minutes. And if you ask questions, they're going to tell you no right at the front door. So, don't ask questions at the front door. Number 7, look for conversation starters walking up to the house. they have nice grass, antique cars, nice landscaping, pets. It's okay to pay the customer compliments as a starter to open the conversation. But be sincere about it. These customers can see right through us. They get salesmen at their door all the time. These people sending in the cards, they probably mail one every week, to be honest with you. I want to give you an example of what it might sound like if I'm knocking on a customer's door. So I'd knock on the door, and I would say, Mr. Customer, if their name's Mr. Smith. If the name on the card's Mr. Smith, and a guy that meets the profile answers the door, I'm automatically going to assume that that's the person I'm looking for. So I'll say, Mr. Smith, my name's Eric Sipes. A couple weeks ago, you had mailed this card into my office requesting some information about some final expense benefits. My office sent me out to get you some of this information. And then I will be silent. And I'll give the moves, walking towards his house. And he's either going to step back and let me in, or he's going to step forward and, give me excuses. This is when your job starts as a salesman. Like I said before, you're not going to say, do you have a couple minutes I can visit with you? If someone asks me that, I'd say no. If someone says, it only takes a couple minutes to get you this information, they're giving me a statement. I'm going to respond to that statement. Well, if it only takes a couple minutes, come on. You got to be confident. Some people will say, I just don't have time to see you right now. Well, sir, ma'am, this only takes a couple minutes. I'm just trying to be a good steward of my time and get you this information that you'd requested. And then I stop talking. I try to close about 4 times at the door because this is the most important part about the job. You're going to get other excuses. Can you come back next week? Well, sir, ma'am, to be honest with you, I'd love to come back next week, but, I work a pretty broad area, and I'm trying to be a good steward of my time to get some folks this information. So, like I said, it only takes a couple minutes. I wish I could come back, but, the time when we stood here talking at the door, I could have got you this information. So, I just wanted to leave you these brochures and tell you a little bit about it. You keep proceeding with getting in the door because the sale you're making at this point is yourself. The next sale is getting in the house. The 4th attempt would probably go something like this. You could tell they're on the way out. So I will say something like, looks like you're on your way to work or on your way to a doctor's appointment. What time do you get off work? 5 o'clock? Okay. I tell you what, I'll bring back this information around 6 o'clock, and then we'll sit down and visit then. And I'll just stop, and they'll either say yeah or they'll tell me to kick rocks. At this point, after battling all these, rebuttals, I can kind of tell if they're serious or not. So if I kind of get a feeling that they're not sincere about wanting to see me, I'll ask them, Mr. Customer, is this something you care about for your family? Will you give me the time, or are you just telling me you're not interested because you're just not interested? And they'll tell you honestly. You say, it's okay to tell me if you're not interested. It's not going to hurt my feelings. And they'll tell you, no, I'm just really busy today, Eric. Can you come back later? Or, honestly, I thought that was something free through the mail. I send that stuff in all the time. I'm really not interested. And so you know what to do from there. Move on to the next appointment. Don't get caught up on trying to get in every house. Let's face it, you're not going to get in every single door. There's going to be doors that, people slam the door in your face. You can't take it personal. You got to let that roll off your back and move on to the next house. So, try your best to get in. If you're not getting in, move on. So, that's my approach to getting in the door. Like I said, David, I emailed that to you. You're more than welcome to share that with any other agents or managers out there doing this. This is what I use for final expense. Not saying appointments are bad, but, this is my approach, and I'm sticking to it. So there you have it, my friend.
Well, Eric, I appreciate it very much. And yes, I do have that on a PDF. And when I broadcast the recorded conference call to our agent force and manager force, and I'll make sure to include that. I appreciate you giving me permission to do that, because that's great stuff. It's good nuggets on making sure you get in the door. For those who set appointments, if you're struggling on the phone, you're setting yourself up for a pretty tough week. If you're going to the door and you're not getting in, writing applications becomes a lot more challenging. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Eric. If you'll hang in there with us, I want to unmute or set the line setting where folks can ask a question. One moment while I do that.
Okay.
All right. Now, by pressing *6, you can unmute your line if you have a question for Mr. Eric Sipes on getting in the door or anything else for that matter. I see we have one line unmuted. Is there a caller ready?
Yes, this is Donald. One quick question for you, Eric. In regards to what's the name of the app you say you use to log in your leads?
Okay. Am I unmuted, David?
Yes, sir.
All right. So back when I first started this business, I used a software called Microsoft Streets and Trips, but it is outdated. It's extinct. So I have on my smartphone, I have an Android software. It's called Best Route Pro, and it's something that you have to buy, but it's a one-time fee. And what it does is you can put up to like 50 stops in there and optimize the route, and it puts it in order. But you need to pick your first destination, and it'll map it out, what's the closest to you. So for an Android, it's called Best Route Pro. I don't know about Apple software because I'm not very technical, to be honest with you. Also, I have a Garmin to answer that question again, that I can optimize routes in a Garmin. But I work a lot of different towns, a lot of smaller towns, and I like to see on a map, because I need to change the routes a little bit. Garmin, it just puts it in there, and I can't tell what's what. So I use Best Route Pro on a smartphone. If I have leads in one town, I use a Garmin, and it's got a trip planner in the Garmin.
Awesome. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Thank you for your question, Donald. Is there anyone else who has a question for Eric? Give it about 5 seconds, see if there's any questions. Eric, these are fantastic steps to getting in the door. Being confident is probably one of those most important, as well as leading, wiping your feet and what it takes to get into the home. And this is some great stuff. I'll make sure to include that PDF when I send out the recorded conference call, probably tomorrow. So watch for that, everybody. And I appreciate you being on today's call. Eric, thank you so much again for joining our call. And I'll end us with a quote right quick. This is from an unknown sportscaster, who inevitably was speaking about a basketball team. I felt it was relevant with the devotion. And Eric, as he's building his sales team, this person said, "You don't win with the best talent. You win with the 5 players who are able to play well together." End quote. Now, play well together is kind of an open-ended statement. That could be they get along well, they're bought in, they understand what's going on in the game or in the business. So, playing well together is, I see it as those who are hungry and those who really want it. So thank you, One Life, for joining our call today. We'll go ahead and wrap it up. Thanks again, Eric. And everybody have a fantastic week. We'll see you next Monday on the call. Goodbye.